on your odds than the Cubs winning the World Series.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, no question. Like, Pikachu in Chicago.
Now, what you saw is right before we came into top 8, you saw Nero take on Tyroy and win in the craziest timeout / almost death that I've ever seen. Like 2 frames after it timed, he exploded because Tyroy went with the most YOLO forward smash and it caught Nero. But now we're going to see the ditto, and Nero is known and has no shame about timing out his opponents. And so it's going to be up to ESAM to try and push the envelope here, push the issue, make Nero be the one that has more damage. He is super patient. That is the best way to describe Nero's Pikachu. ESAM, he does like to go for some aggressive options, but like aggressive edge guarding in the Pikachu is a little harder to pull off. Yeah, certainly. It's something that you don't really get an opportunity to do all that often, and so it can be difficult to fight your own character in 2 completely opposing styles. Indeed. We're going to have to see how this works out. It looks like ESAM is the one just taking a little bit more chip damage out of these straight combos left and right. And that's exactly where Nero wants to be. He wants to just have that small little lead and put the pressure on the opponent to approach, and then he does his great defensive work in that moment. Both players are going to be looking for that. ESAM was trying to find the jab block combo. He's pretty well known for that if you miss those techs on his down tilts. Yeah, and he always is looking for new and interesting ways to get those too. But sometimes you don't need some fancy jab block. Sometimes you just bring down the thunder. That was pretty slick there from ESAM, knowing that Nero had to commit to a particular direction with his quick attack. Right. He couldn't really go high. If he went high, he still would have gotten hit by the thunder. And he couldn't go low because then he'd die because it was the second dash of the quick attack. And then that was it. That's a fantastic way to seal out that stock. Really, really smart. So now the pressure is going to be on Nero. It's going to be interesting to see if Nero, finding himself down now, is going to be able to shore up that difference in any sort of quick fashion, because right now ESAM with momentum is the most dangerous ESAM. Well, that happened. That was the turn break where both Pokemon trainers give their Pokemon Hyper Potions. Oh, yeah. Okay. So they just stand there. It didn't really heal any percent. No, it failed. Okay. But anyway. They use like block. No items were able to be used in the battle. Oh, there. Nero's going to get the call out up smash. Just caught ESAM jumping a little bit too recklessly inside. And that's what Nero needs. If Nero doesn't get like a quick stock in return, he can kind of fall behind. Right. So, but one thing that he did a lot better than ESAM in Stock 1 was that he built damage better than ESAM did. And he is bringing it back in a very, very quick manner here. But now ESAM has control, but he went off stage, kind of lost his stage control there a little bit. But the taxi platform's helping him out a lot at the moment. Goes to the forward throw there to get ESAM off stage, try and set up an edge guard opportunity. But ESAM, so clever, just goes right to the edge there as opposed to trying to challenge. 1% difference. And now here it comes. Oh, wow. Actually kind of a Randy option there. That's not the Nero that we know him going for that. That option's typically safe on shield. However, he was so close. Like, ESAM was just so close when he shielded it. He was right on top. He was able to get the shield grab. So usually that has a lot of shield pushback. Nero with a little bit of a lead here. That disappeared in almost an instant. Not quite, though. Nero will play, like, at 1%, he'll play safe. Like, he'll try for the timeout. So what percent do you think that Rage up throw is going to kill here in this matchup? Like 130? Probably like 130-ish. Yeah. I mean, I'm not one to who's going to quote percents to you or anything like that. That's not my style, but 130 sounds about right. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like if this match just comes down to this particular moment in time, it's just going to be who gets the grab. Oh, wow, and he knew he had the re-grab, and he tries to get the Gimp, but Pikachu but the call-out! Wow! ESAM with a jaw drop as well. He knew that he got caught. He kind of got caught trying to be fancy there, trying to quick attack up on stage, and Nero's just like, here's the up smash. Strong up smashes can challenge that quick attack if you are a little too reckless with it. And so that is going to be a big game one here for Nero, and he is going to need all the momentum he can get because ESAM is a formidable opponent. Right. Now talking about stages. Speaking of, like formidable opponents, like you can't really find a more formidable Pikachu than ESAM, but Nero's showing that, you can play your game, I'll play mine, and so far mine's working because all I need is literally 2 callouts. Like one, the up smash on stock 1 because he was jumping too much. Stock 2, it was literally only because he tried to quick attack. So, I mean, it's really going to see if ESAM can not mess up. Wow. We are seeing some acrobatics right now.
Any other character, that was it.
Maybe Bayonetta.
The Pikachu, man. Pikachu's wacky.
Pikachu is like watching like Spider-Man versus Spider-Man. Like they're just web slinging all over the stage, just acrobatics like crazy.
The other thing you gotta commend for Nero is that he's not like starstruck or anything.
No.
Like
he's just like, yo, this is just another player.
Like when Rosalind. Oh.
That was
taunt.
That was well. He deserved that taunt because he read that from when ESAM was at Ignition this week, he had that read.
He's like, I bet a Pikachu's going to neutral get up in top 8
while I'm charging my up smash.
But what I was trying to say is like when, Nero. I was going to say Nero hasn't SD'd at all this tournament.
Well.
And there you have it.
Oh, and the most adorable celebration pose.
That's so sad.
Wow.
The point I was trying to make before a lot of dumb stuff happened was when like Rosalina players end up playing Dabuz in bracket, they're like, oh my god, Dabuz, you're my hero. Nero's just like, I can win this.
Yeah. Not only can he win this, but he came out of the gate with the first game. Like, so, you know, Nero is... No, that's kind of not fair to say, though, because it's not like Nero is like some scrub that made it this far. Like, he's number 8 in Michigan.
No, he's a real player,
He's good. So, like, I'm sure he's learned from ESAM, but he's developed his own style, clearly, and it's working for him all right. But that was a tough 2-stock. Like, that'll take people down a notch, like, in their confidence level. So he's got to see if he can rebound from that.
See, but they're both Pika players. Pika players are the masters of SDing in, like, the most heartbreaking way, and then just be like, whatever, there's another game.
Yeah, right.
So I very much expect Nero to just be ready to battle in this one.
Yep, and
so far so even.
Yeah, and this is exactly how Game 1 started. And again, I mean, this is kind of how Game 2 started until we saw that Back to the Future read.
ESAM only took like 20% that game. This is a little more even. It's hard to get more even than 1% difference between these players.
I mean, no percent difference would be more even.
I said it's hard, not impossible.
But we digress. We are here on Dreamland. Wispy Woods has no effect so far, but honestly, I've seen that Wispy Woods, when he's blowing, you can quick attack cancel on like the ground, right?
Yeah, that's the way that works.
That is an interesting dynamic of this particular mirror that other mirrors don't have, is the ability to kind of up your offense for moments while Wispy is blowing.
Stages are pretty important in general for Pikachu.
Right.
Like, Pikachu has some really, really strong stages he can pick from. And there, the Roar Thunder!
Another Thunder kill right there. ESAM has been finding those all day. He got a bunch in doubles, and now in singles he's using that to find a lot of them as well. I'm really impressed by
that input is very hard to perform. So that's what ESAM's really been living a lot. He's making sure he can land those Roar Thunders. And there's one, at least, in this set. Having a kill confirm out of grab at those percents is super valuable.
And Nero not able to find his own Thunder there. That platform got in the way. Now ESAM going to work once again. Going really deep.
That's something they can do in this matchup. Just go off the deep end. It's kind of like Pikachu did in 64.
Well, that was a unique option. He actually went above the ledge by doing a beefy up B, and that kind of let him get back down. ESAM had been doing such a great job at edge guarding. That's really his biggest strength. Like, it's kind of incredible how good ESAM is at outs, like off the stage. One of the best players in at least in the U.S.
Nero's no slouch, but like we said in that Game 1, if Nero doesn't find this stock quick enough, he can just kind of get in a hole. And this is what it's really looking to be.
I'm really liking these late hit short hop fairs that he's trying to lead him into up smash. It's really good knowledge of the character, but unfortunately Pikachu just too small of a hurt box for him to connect on those.
That's another one of those things that just in the Ditto, something you're used to working is not working. And that's the way the news goes sometimes.
Right. Oh, and he actually, unfortunately, does not snap ledge there. Gets forward smash for it, and that'll kill. So Nero's got some work ahead of him, but it seems totally possible because this is how it happened in Game 1. He lost his stock early and then brought it all the way back. So we'll see if he's able to do that again.
Indeed. ESAM's trying to hold the stage, go for another huge read.
Nero's got to.
There it is.
Nero's got to stop. Like you can't just challenge that. Like
if you miss your first gigantic read, just go for a second one.
Right. Yeah. It's like the Ken flowchart from Street Fighter. When in doubt, sure you can. Like when in doubt, try it again.
There you go. That's going to be a 2-1 lead for ESAM, and that one did not feature an SD. That was a pretty clean game all around.
And that's what we like to see is clean play.
A good, clean fight.
We don't want to see any underhanded tactics. But that one thing I have to commend ESAM for is that he's not letting Nero play his timeout game. Like, he's staying on him and forcing him into his territory, into his domain, which is more of a knockdown, drag-out, back-and-forth fight.
ESAM's repping Team Poplio going into Game 4.
Ugh.
What's wrong with Poplio?
Rowlet for life.
All right, whatever. I'm done with you. I don't have Pokemon opinions, really, so.
Yeah, why are you? I knew you didn't. I was wondering why you were going for that. Anyway, so we're back on Dreamland here. Wispy hasn't been a factor so far. I wonder if he will again, but one thing I'm interested here about how Nero adjusts is that he hasn't, in Game 1, he seemed really crisp with his movement, but ever since that loss in Game 2, he hasn't really seemed to bounce back from that. He seems almost a little bit timid to try these quick attack cancels.
That's something that Pikachu players can fall into a trap for. Like, if they do SD like they did like he did on Battlefield, like, you'll start limiting your movement. And if you limit your movement like that, you're just kind of putting yourself in a hole.
Right, right.
You need to continue being aggressive, even if you might suicide. They're retreating to the neutral here.
Yep, going back to each side of the stage, waiting for further instruction from their trainers.
Neither player committing to anything. Those quick attacks,
now, it's
left and right.
It's interesting to me that ESAM would do so many quick attacks in a row because he got up smash out of one to lose Game 1. So he clearly thinks that Nero just doesn't have an item to challenge that again.
The way he was spacing them was also pretty challenging because Nero really wanted to hold the middle of the stage. He didn't want to adjust his spacing very much, so those quick attacks were safe considering that Nero wanted to hold the middle.
Wow. And just so quick on that DI read to Thunder. Just saw that he was going right, immediately busted out and went over there and got the confirm.
Excellent play here by ESAM. Look at the move on. I don't know who he played the loser of.
Jeremy, I need you to ramp up your energy right now. I can't have you yawning this early in top 8.
Dittos, man. Dan's game. He plays the loser of Zenodo and JJ Rockets.
Okay, okay.
Which, that's a ways away. ESAM does have to lock up this game first. It's very important.
Right, yeah. It's still not over because if
the Indians blew a 3-1 lead, so anything can happen.
Yeah, strap in tonight, folks, because that's going to happen.
ESAM's got the stage. Nero trying to find a way on. He's going to get grabbed for it, and again, off stage. I feel like it's hard for Pikachu to get on stage against Pikachu, and that's not something Pikachu's used to.
Say Pikachu again.
Pika! Down he goes with another big up smash. I think he didn't lose a stock in those 3 wins.
I think Game 4, I thought he did. No, he didn't. You're right. After losing Game 1, he's just like, nah, fam.
ESAM and MVD proving once again that they are the real deal. Moving on.
However,
even though they are in the losers bracket.
Yeah, that is. I mean, they're proving, but Chicago and the Midwest in general decided to defend their turf a little bit more this time. They're gonna have to fight their way in from the deep end. We
haven't even talked about JDB beating ESAM yet. That is
crazy.
Not something we really predicted.
So he's coming up right now, so I'll have you talk about Ned, but JDB out of Kentucky, really impressive player. Has just shown up kind of out of nowhere and been like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm good at this game, guys.
He shows up regularly to, like, the Ohio monthlies.
Right. He's been to events. He just hasn't really been to Chicago events. Like,